Good evening to all my listeners out there, all my real estate investors, all my investors looking to allocate your funds and make a return. Welcome to the Private Lender Show. My name is Elvin Ames, the Brass Bull of Wall Street, or Ames the Bull for short. And tonight we're going to talk about a very powerful secret to investing that very few people know about. Usually, only the wealthy and ultra rich know about it, and it's called private lending. Now, first of all, let me say what private lending is. When we say private lending, we're typically talking about real estate that is secured, of loan that is secured by real estate. So what happens is investor who wants to make a return on their investment, they would find a real estate investor like myself who has a deal that needs funding, whether it be a fix and flip or an acquisition, and they would give me a private loan, which is secured by real estate or the asset that I'm putting up to help fund my deal. And for that funding, they get a return. Some returns are monthly, some returns are just paid back when the deal is completely fixed and sold, and everybody gets paid at the end. It all depends on how you work it with the private lender. But here are some secrets about that you probably don't know about, and this is why the ultra rich, ultra wealthy partake in private lending, or people who have knowledge of it, who have a self directed IRA. Many of these people with self directed IRAs partake in private lending. So, what are these secrets? And why is it such a secretive thing that I'm shedding light on? Well, here's the beauty of private lending. One is you're in control. As a private lender, you're able to finance a deal that you have eyes on, that you can physically touch and feel, and may provide a return if it's a rental property, or a big waterfall payoff at the end if it's a flip. And you are in control of that deal. You're in control of your destiny. Now, somebody's going to do the labor and fix it up. That's the real estate investor. That's his job to take on the risk of that. But you, as the investor, you pretty much just give him the money, you sit back and wait for your return. So it's very hands off, but it could be hands on if you want it to be. You can be more involved if you want, especially if you decide to partner with the investor. But we're going to really talk about just financing the deal right now as a private lender. The other beautiful thing about private lending is it's secured by real estate, usually by a first lien or uh, deed of trust in some parts of the country. But in my neck of the woods, we call it a mortgage, the first lien on the property. And by be, putting a mortgage on a property, you basically become the bank. You step into the shoes of a banker. You have all the rights of a banker, of a lender. You get a first mortgage on the property, you become the first lien. You also have to get provided with hazard insurance to insure the property against anything that may happen, fire, vandalism, etc. You're also able to get title insurance. This ensures the title of the property to make sure it's free and clear of liens, etc. By lending on a private mortgage, it's also easily transferable. You could sell that mortgage to another investor. Now, because of crowdfunding, you could bring in other investors as well to invest with you or to even take you out. You have the right, if the real estate investor does not pay the mortgage, to foreclose and then get the property back. You could have a personal guarantee that this investor signs with you. So if you take a loss, you could go after them personally. And if it's a rental property, you have the right under the UCC, Uniform Commercial Code, to get some of the rents of that property, point receivers, especially if it's a commercial loan. So you get a great rate of return, by the way. And I didn't even really step into that. I want to get to that one last. But you have all these advantages being a private lender that you can never realize putting your money in the stock market. On the stock market, if your stock goes down in value, you don't receive a dividend, who are you going to go after? Are you going to be able to go after those assets in the company? No, you're not. Can you get rents that they get? If they're no, you're not entitled to that. You could get your dividend, but if they're not paying dividends, you're out of luck. If you put your money in a bank or buy a CD, certificate of deposit, I mean, right now rates are zero. So what is your return going to be? Next to nothing. And a study just came out that a lot of people who put their money in mutual funds have really not earned saw any return because of the high fees associated with managing these funds. But one place that you could see a return, you have all the protections in place of the law of the asset, is private lending. And typically, when an investor buys these properties, they usually buy them below 75% of the ARV, after renovation value. Some as low as 65% and 50% of the ARV. So you're secure with a bunch of equity above you if this property's renovated properly. So this is why the ultra wealthy, super rich, um, love being private lenders. Many family offices have sections of their portfolio devoted towards funding private lenders. So if your family office, you're an investor who wants to put funds up, always give me a call. You could always reach me um, on goldeneyeinvestments.com, or email me Elvin, Elvin, at goldeneyeinvestments.com. That's GOLDENEYEINVESTMENTS.com. Elvin at goldeneyeinvestments.com. Shoot me an email, say, hey, I have funds I'm looking to deploy, and we will definitely talk to you. Now, right now, our private lenders are making anywhere from well, some as low as 6 to 12% return on their money. The stock market, you're lucky if you even see close to that. So this is why you really want to get into private lending. Now, there's some other benefits to private lending other than the passive income you can enjoy from private lending. Some of that income, or a lot of it, or all of it, could be tax free, especially if you are using what's called a self directed IRA. We're not going to fully get into that right now. We're going to get into that in a later show. But look up self directed IRA. There are many companies that utilize that you know have self directed IRA funds that they're people, or sorry, there's self-directed IRA custodians out there. There are many of them. So do your research, your homework, and look them up. Now, I just want to leave you guys with this. All right. What would you rather? Be in control of your investment, see the person who you're lending the money with, know exactly how many jobs your investment goes to create, or just take your money, give it to some hedge fund manager or some kid on Wall Street who just got out of high school, who's just selling you whatever stock the company tells you to buy? Or would you rather put your funds with someone who has a physical piece of real estate and sit back and watch that passive income come in? Which makes more sense? And this, I call this recession proof, because when the market drops, that's when you want to absolutely be lending. You want to be lending during a recession. Most people don't, they back away from lending during a recession. But when do people need the money the most? During a recession. That's when assets are cheapest. That's what investors, you know, wait for. But we have a weird way of investing nowadays. Everybody buys when the stock is high and sells when it gets low. You're supposed to do the opposite. You buy low, sell high. So right now is a good time to back investors like myself, because we're looking to buy, fix, and flip or sell properties. This is a great time. And when the market crashes, we need you again to buy, fix, and hold and rent those properties. What I refer to as the four F's or the five F's: find it, fund it, fix it, flip it, and fill it, which is used for find it for an acquisition, fund it, whereas this is where the private lender comes in, fix it, the construction part of it, flip it, that's the retail or real estate side of it, you're selling the property, and fill it, that's the property management or the rental side of it. So private lending is recession proof as well. So you really, really want to become a private lender. For more information, feel free to hook me up. This is Ames, the Brass Bill of Wall Street. We're Wall Street, Main Street. You can find us 30 Wall Street, 8th floor, New York, New York, New York. My name is Elvin Ames. They call me the Brass Bill of Wall Street, or Ames the Bull for short. It's been good talking to you guys. Go out and fund an investor. Have a good night.